Talofa for love and welcome to day 7. This was Saturday the 19th of April 2025. This is a long video, but I'm going to be explaining my learnings and what I've enjoyed about Samoa this time in this video, so be prepared for a long one. When you come, make sure you bring cash. Cash is king, whilst you'll be ending up at the ANZ bank trying to get money out from there, from that security guard or the other one that's sitting outside the ANZ here. Line them up, mate. They do have a McDonald's here, but it's not the same. It's an American influenced McDonald's, so the burgers are more bigger. The menu is a bit different because it's American based. We on Saturday went to the markets and some other places to get the final things that we needed to bring back to New Zealand. There are people here who just straight ask for money, basically begging. There are people here who will be trying to sell you stuff. So as soon as you hop out, they'll be in your face trying to say stuff. I don't mind those entrepreneurs. There are people also that have stores on the side of the street, on the road. And then there'll be people who would just be basically having businesses, want you to come and buy stuff from them. There are kids sitting on the floor and just asking for money. I'd find that a bit disturbing. But there are also really good businesses here. Cafes, better than New Zealand. You know, the only thing that I do worry about Samoa is that they do have some hospitality school, but all of the workers, once they figure out how much they make in Samoa, 5 tala an hour compared to what they would make in Australia and New Zealand, it's a no-brainer. So a lot of them, they lose their workers to Australia and New Zealand. But we're heading out to a place that some of you may know if you already know that road. This place is called Sula Supermarket. They sell a lot of things. Remember, it's American based, American influence, and there's a lot of chocolates, a lot of drinks. A lot of their chocolates and their processed foods are very different. But we came for the keke pua'as, $1.50 for keke pua'a. You can see that on my top 11 meals rated that I had in Samoa. Then we went for a visit down memory lane where my brother used to stay. This was all on the waterfront, so this is where him and his family stayed when they lived in Samoa. But also the area that we're in had a lot of government buildings, and you'll see that. So that's the sea heading towards Hawaii. There are a lot of, we saw 2 memorials, or where 2 people were buried. They were pretty high up there. The other places that we saw were really cool buildings, iconic buildings to Samoa. So that's the Parliament, where they have a lot of huis and too much, not enough tuis. So too many huis, not enough tuis. And right next to that is the courthouse. This courthouse was humongous. Now, I'm not too sure if this is also where they do the land disputes and stuff like that, but this is the court in Samoa. It's humongous, mate. I don't know what else they're doing there. But anyway, we got to see some other places. So the buildings here are humongous. There's a lot of buildings going on, new constructions as well. And that's partly some of the reasons why there's not much power cuts here in Samoa. So the time that we were there, you were scheduled to have a power cut, and it didn't happen because they were probably just scheduled it in, and it might have happened, but it didn't happen. So that was cool for a lot of people, not having to go without power, especially around Easter when there's a lot of people. So you'll see this is what you call the seawall, which would stop some of the tsunamis that came after 2004. So that was pretty cool. That would help protect a lot of the villages, but also the hotels that were lining up just across the seawall. So one of the places we're going to be going is to the old makeki, or the old places where they would have the markets many years ago. And the cool thing about it is that all of the buses, like the cool funky buses you'll see, would come around this area, and they would just park up and let their passengers out. It's only a few hundred meters from the main town centre. So this is where all of the buses are. Some of them are real funky colours, have cool names. The one that we're going to see is called Sunrise. This one here is called Sunrise. Look at this art designs, man. Eye-catching flames coming out of the back of the bus. Now, Samoa also, as I said, has the influence of America. So a lot of the cars here do come from America, but also you'll see a lot of Toyotas. And Toyota is probably one of the main brands of cars here. But we also saw Mr. Officer said some of those sea trawlers that go out to sea. So they have fish markets here, and my brother said they had fish and chips here too. But this was Mr. Officer. Hey, Mr. Officer, telling people to move. Look at that, 150,000 tala just driving around like that. Yeah. So there are rich people. There are people who have really good businesses here that do well. The problem with the cars, it only takes 2 years, and then you have to get them serviced, and then that becomes a problem. The best drink driving campaign I've seen. Listen to this: drink, drunk, drive, dead. That's it. We ended up going to another place that you guys will know if you know Samoa. We're heading towards the back. We are going to Bingaki's. Real cheap food. Good food. I'm not going to say it's the best quality, but it's good food for the working class person who just wants to get ready for money. So in Samoa, there are lots of signs, lots of flash-as buildings, lots of flash-as churches, and there's so many churches. There's churches in the back garage, churches in buildings, but there are also humongous churches that you would have seen in a few of the videos. So we're heading over to Coffee Roasters to meet a friend for breakfast. Ended up being there for too long, a few hours. So then we had to rush to get everywhere else that we were going to go. Here we are at Coffee Roasters. They have an awesome pie apparently on a Wednesday and a Friday. So check it out, Coffee Roasters. Get a cool pie. We haven't tasted it. One of the things I was disappointed of was when we bought pies. They were in the warmer, but they were not hot. They were all in the warmer, but not hot. So Samoa, get your stuff together. That was from Farmer Joe's, the supermarkets as well, and Saunders. So yeah, those guys need to sort out their stuff. This is another place that we're going to get some food, some chop suey. This is called Sunrise. So this is a famous spot in Samoa as well for good food. Scoops was another place we visited the night before to get some ice cream. So back to the Vaiala, back to see the security details of the dogs, and we were setting up again inside the lounge this time, bringing it because it was raining again. Man, it rained so much, kind of felt like home. Now we were up a few probably around 100 meters up off the sea level, and it was nice and cool. So this was my view when I was playing the keyboards. That's when I would see the drummers and the guitar players. We had a bit of cheese with some visitors and some friends of Lucky and Bex, but we also had some shots. This one was called Fireball. A fireball? Is it good fireball? Let's see what the bottle says. Here it is. Fireball, yeah, nice. Manuia.